Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today we are doing my July Mermaid Marathon TBR. These are the books that I want to read or listen to in July that are specifically about mermaids. I have a summer TBR that I'll post in the comments down below with contemporary books and some nautical tales and things I would also like to read. I definitely won't get to all of them, and I don't stick well to my TBRs, and I missed a couple from June, so they'll be in my brain as well, but I've got all new TBR books here to share with you today. So first up, I want to talk about the books that I want to reread via audiobook. I did this pretty much with almost all my audiobooks last month, and I'll post my June audiobook wrap up here soon. But these are all mermaid books that I have read like in the past 2 or 3 years that I want to dive back into so I can recommend things better, and I haven't listened to them on audiobook yet. The first ones that I definitely want to reread / listen to is the Of Poseidon Trilogy. So we have Of Poseidon, Of Triton, and Of Neptune mermaid series. Girl winds up finding out she's a mermaid or something stereotypical or whatever. I remember enjoying these. I don't remember absolutely loving them, and honestly I only remember a couple of key points from them, and so I'm really excited to get back into them because I wasn't like completely head over heels for them, but I still think that they're really good reads, and I want to be able to like thoroughly recommend them as a good mermaid book if I did enjoy them. So, and I know the narrator for this one is decent. I can't remember her name, but I'll share it when I do wind up listening to them. So I definitely want to get to these 3 in July. Next up is kind of a hefty goal, and I'm not entirely sure if I like the narrator for this series, so it'll kind of depend on whether or not I enjoy the narrator, but I would like to re-listen to the WaterFire Saga. So in that saga we have Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, and Dark Tide, and also Sea Spells. I'll put a picture like right over here because I don't own that one yet. I wound up listening to over 10 audiobooks last month, so I think that my audiobook goal might be appropriate, especially since most of these aren't like crazy long, but this is a mermaid book, obviously. This one is different than all the other ones I've recommended and talked about because this one is set entirely under the water. This is not about a human becoming a mermaid or finding mermaids or anything like that. This is about mermaids as their own species and a princess mermaid that goes on her own adventures to fight evil and to save people and to fall in love and to make friends and like all that kind of stuff. There are witches and ghosts in here as well, but you're like in the water in an underwater kingdom, in an underwater world the entire time, so it's really fun. I remember that there are a lot of like crazy names in here for people, and there's a lot of like crazy lingo as far as what they call certain things, so much so that there is actually an index in the back of the books that kind of help you remember everything. I remember thinking that was a bit much, and this one kind of reads more like a middle grade. It is a Disney Hyperion book. This is by Jennifer Donnelly. But I did really enjoy it. It just was just the characters and stuff, and their little side character pets and everything were really fun. But I'll talk more about it in my reading wrap up at the end of July if I listen to it. The next audiobooks that I want to re-listen to is the Forgive My Fins series. This is Fins Are Forever. I think it's the 3rd book. It's the only one that I own. But there is Forgive My Fins, Just for Fins, and Fins Are Forever. So this one is a middle grade mermaid series, I believe, even though she's 18 in this one. It definitely reads like a middle grade book. Super fun. I really enjoyed reading it. Just like way more silly and goofy and fun than I expected. There's a lot of underwater stuff that happens. I kind of like that when we're like in the underwater kingdoms a little bit more. That is about a mermaid who is on land as a human and doesn't really want to be a mermaid, but she winds up having to go back to her kingdom to help with something and falling in love and like all those kinds of things. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'll talk more about it in my reading wrap up when I'm done listening to it. And then lastly, I have 4 books on my TBR for reading because I have to catch up on some of the books from my June TBR because I didn't read a couple of them. I switched and read something else. So this is kind of like a loose reading TBR, but these are the ones that I would like to get to. So I have The Vicious Deep by Zoraida Cordova. This is a trilogy as well. This one is about a mer boy and mer people things, but I know the lead character in this is a merman or a mer boy or a human that becomes a mer boy or something like that. Purposefully don't look into a lot of the details before I read them because a lot of them are the same and I kind of want to discover the journey as I go into it. It is a trilogy, but I've had this one on my TBR for a little while now, and the covers are really, really cool. So hope to get into that one. Then I have a Ripple by Mandy Hubbard. Mermaid love story. Mermaid needs to become human, something like that. Horrible cover. But I actually have heard that it's a decent book, so it's very short, so I don't see why I can't get to it, and I own this one, so I definitely want to read it to see if I enjoy it and whether or not I need to keep it or not. Definitely got siren things in here. I think that she's more of a siren, so she likes to kill humans and things like that, but mermaid stuff. Okay, then we have Sea Change by Amy Friedman. This one's about a girl who moves to like a seaside town and discovers magic and lore, and I'm assuming mermaids, and maybe becomes a mermaid, and I don't know. You would think with how repetitive some of these mermaid books are that I wouldn't like it, but I just really enjoy it, and the ones that I have read and listened to have just been so much fun. Especially like the seaside vibes and the nautical vibes and the pirates that sometimes happen. But yeah, this one's more of a love story as well. And lastly, I would like to read Teardrop by Lauren Kate. I did a video featuring this called Might Be a Mermaid Book. I don't actually know if this one is a mermaid book, but this is something about how she can't cry because the water is going to control her, or the water is evil or something. But the second book has major mermaid vibes, and so does this one. I have no idea if it's actually a mermaid book, but it's been on my TBR for a while anyway, and I kind of want to knock off some Might Be a Mermaid Book books. So yeah, so I'm going to check out this one by Lauren Kate. Hey guys, that is all for my July Mermaid Marathon TBR. I have no idea which ones I'm going to get to, considering I have ones to get to from last month, but I am reading and listening to a lot of mermaid books overall, so I'm doing good. Let me know if you guys have read or listened to any mermaid books this summer, or if you plan to, and I'll see you guys next time on the bright side. Bye!